Katie Stevens, WBFF Bikini Pro, innovator, entrepreneur, successful business owner.
Having discipline can literally decipher a dreamer to a doer. If you don't take a chance, you don't stand a chance. I'm constantly inspired by achieving greatness.
Thank you everyone for showing up, Chris and the team. I mean, round of applause for them. What an absolute incredible event that they've put on. Just one quick thing, can I grab a clicker? Love a good clicker. When you get a sec, that'd be awesome. Thank you, team. I'm Katie Stevens, bit of an intro there. I'm super pumped to be here. I mean, it's Thursday morning. It takes a lot to get out of bed. I think I was up by 5, hair, makeup, all that sort of jazz, long weekend. Oh, this is a fancy one. Green, and we go? Green for go. Oh, okay, how do we go back?
The red one.
Let's start with that one. Okay, green for go, red for back. Got it. Okay. Does that work? Oh, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, in a nutshell, when I was asked to come to this event, I was like, it's a real estate event. I'm not a real estate agent, seller's agent, buyer's agent, marketing team, whatever. Why me? And funny story actually, Tia, which is also part of Chris's team, turned around and said, well, Katie, I've been to your events, I see what you talk about. And the funny thing is that branding, obviously you do a lot of keynotes, you talk in a lot of industries, you talk at a lot of events, you have a lot of your own events, but we just want that person that isn't relatable to the industry or isn't in the industry that can chat about the versatility and the importance when it comes to branding and positioning yourself in the market. And it really doesn't matter what industry you're in, but how you can create success and obviously build up that bottom line of profitability, right? So let's start with a little bit about me. A bit of a snapshot is, this is me, a little baby girl. That's my sister, one of 2. Grew up country town, love the city, love all the bright lights, fashion, styling and stuff, but at heart, I'm a country girl. And there's nothing better to me than the smell of grass and fields and whatnot. So I grew up in country Victoria, played every single sport you can imagine. Mum and Dad sort of threw us into a bit of everything just to see what worked or what we're good at, what we're not good at. And I did everything from tennis, sports, aerobics, basketball, even jumped on a horse once. That didn't work out. And then I went on into my early 20s and being competitive and growing up with that sporting sort of background, I really took a liking to sports cars and supercars. So I thought, you know what, there's a competition that aligns with it, I'm going to enter it. I entered in 2015, I did Miss Supercars and I ended up going right through to nationals, taking first place, and then I got the crown for 12 months to be able to travel with the supercars. That was pretty cool. I learnt some cool stuff. I got to learn all the behind the scenes, the grid stuff, and met some really cool people. And I guess one thing as a kid is I was always a curious kid, always had questions and always wanted to learn. So I took the title for that and they gave me the crown and said, you've got 12 months. And I kind of wanted to stay in a little bit longer. So I ended up carving out a little bit of a career with them for about 4 years and travelled doing their major pieces and stuff. I did bodybuilding because I wanted to push my body to things that I sort of thought I could achieve, and I did. And I ended up taking out first title in WBFF, World Beauty, Fitness and Fashion in America as well. And it landed me a lot of time on the red carpet. I've had the appreciation to be able to share stages with Tony Robbins. I've done keynotes about momentum, about mindset. I spoke with Lorna Jane, a few other people, Roxy Dusenko. Does anyone know Roxy Dusenko? She's a bit of an Australian icon. And I should throw that in there. I've got a loving partner, also in real estate. I feel like I'm actually surrounded by real estate everywhere I look. My best friend, my dad. Actually, my dad's in the room today. Thanks for coming, Dad. And literally, I feel like even though I'm not in the industry, I'm always talking about the industry, where it's going, real estate, and I genuinely have a really good passion for it. So fitting that I'm here today. Through building out my personal brand, it led me to a lot of articles, a lot of really cool things, magazine covers and whatnot. And at that time in my career, I didn't actually really realise how much I was building out my personal brand. To me, I was just doing the things. I was asking the questions, I was meeting the people, I was staying curious, and there was a lot of times in my life where I questioned myself or what I was capable of, what I could do. And I can honestly say that a fundamental piece of that was my upbringing when my parents would always encourage me to at least try. Even if you don't do well, at least you've tried. I'm like, okay, cool. And you would have heard on that video before, I said, if you don't take a chance, you don't stand a chance. And that come to one of my really big business decisions when I was really early in my career. And I remember saying to Dad, shit, this is a lot of money. Like, people are, trying to save money to buy a house and do all these things. And I just want to put all my money into this business and, work on that. And Dad's like, well, if you don't take a chance, you don't stand a chance. And I was like, okay, great. Mum, what should I do? Well, you need to know your numbers, you need to know this. And I'm like, fuck, yin and yang, right? So I was like, well, go with that because it's easy and it's a yes. And I love it. I'm a yes girl. So that worked out well. And that's something that's really stuck with me for a long time. When it comes to talking, you can see in that article right there, I can talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles. I'll tell you right now, if I talk too quick, let me know. But growing up, it was always a thing that I'd come home from school and Mum would say, how's your day? And I just felt like she had to be there. This happened, you wouldn't believe it. And Sally, she got caught out for cheating on this boyfriend and da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, Katie, stop. Just, when you see like a newspaper article and it's got a headline, give me the headline. Tell me what happened. You read it, I mean, gosh, everyone in the room's like, newspaper still knows what that is, because I know sometimes I talk to audiences and they're like, what? And in that headline, whatever it may be, car crash, killed 4 people, something like that. Like, just tell me, like, the crunch line, Katie, and then I'll kind of tell you, give me a bit of a subheading, a little bit more details, and then I'll tell you if I really want the body of it. So for me, I was like, that doesn't sound fun. So I thought if I talk really, really fast, then she'll understand, she'll listen to all of it, and hopefully she'll understand the whole story and get all the pieces. And she really just tuned out, and probably similar to my dad. Dad like, yeah, cool, all right, no worries. So if I talk too fast, let me know. I'm going to try and get through as much as I can. But that's the background of that. Business started for me. My first business was actually a promotional modelling agency. I was at the ripe old age of 19. Grew that out to 1,500 staff, and I exited that. That was actually a 7-figure company, and I exited that about 4 or 5 years later when I was about 23. At the time, I didn't know what I was going to do next. And I thought to myself, well, there's opportunity there, but what I found myself doing was constantly putting people in touch with other people. I had businesses, photographers, I had, startup businesses. All my models at that time was trying to, start a bikini line or, start a makeup line. And I was like, I've got the photographer for you. And I guess before I even sort of processed it, I was like, you go with you and you go with you. And it sort of found me connecting a lot of people. And that's why I'm a really firm believer on the power of collaboration. And it's funny because I was actually doing a podcast with Chris and I said, how does it work in real estate? Because, a lot of people are competitors and they look over at the other people and they're part of this franchise and, they don't talk to that person or obviously, you're doing appraisals against each other. And he said, well, what, at the end of the day, you run your own race. And I thought, well, it's really interesting because when I do talk to agents, it does come down to the power of collaboration, who you know, and carving out your name in your industry of significance. So that's sort of what led me to Minding Her Business. Minding Her Business is a events business, female only. I did start off minding their business just so the guys didn't miss out. And we do that once annually. But this business was built out from basically not $1 of ad spend. I built it out from connections and I made sure with our 3 C's of principle, connect, collaborate and create, that I literally had a goal of showing up everywhere and saturating social media. So what I did was I made sure that everywhere you looked, there was my branding. And I mean, you can look around the room today and see that Chris has done a pretty good job with every sort of touch point that it's actually subconsciously advertising his brand, which is awesome. And I think that's a way of growth. That's the way people talk. And I'll talk about that a little bit later because today I really want to cover off on some social media stuff, how to actually cut through the market. And my favourite jam is AI. So we've got some cool things to cover there. So talking about business, I always say, your business is your brand and your brand is you, right? It doesn't matter if you work for a company. It doesn't matter if you work in a corporation. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Is that who you are is so unique and no one is actually you. So when we start talking about what they do in marketing and what works with them and this and that, we jump between, is at the end of the day, doesn't matter where you're at in your career, as long as you stand strong in what you want to attract, those sellers that you want to attract, the potential buyers to the properties, whatever the case, not so much the buyers, I suppose, but that is so significant when it comes to branding. So can I just get an idea, actually, who has a personal brand? Who actually, yeah, awesome, a few. Who wants to build out their personal brand? Kind of thought about it, but yeah, not really sure where to start. fucking social media is hard, can't keep up. You know, I'm going to do a video, open up the phone, quick scroll, 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, that's funny, send that to my friend, send that to my boyfriend, and they go, I'll just do it later. I'll do it when I'm really in the mindset to create some really good content when I'm feeling like, you know, it's going to be perfect. Perfect never happens, by the way. So when it comes to building out your brand, what is the biggest universal problem that you find or that you see across the industry? Now, when I talk to people and I'm coaching my clients and things like that, I run through, you know, issues and we start talking about problems and, you know, solving these problems in business. But I'm like, the same thing keeps coming up every single time. So the biggest universal problem that every business is dealing with. Has anyone got any idea? Competition? Time management? Not knowing what to post? Yeah, sure. All relevant, but the biggest thing that is universal across every single business is visibility. It's actually being seen, because being seen creates, obviously, and generates interest that's going to build up that bottom line of profitability. So it's actually cutting through. Who's heard of the mere exposure effect, right? The mere exposure effect is a psychological phenomenon by which people tend to develop a preference for things or people that become familiar to them, opposed to not. Has anyone ever said, you know what, I'm going to get a red car because I just don't see them anywhere? And then all of a sudden you get a red car and you go, fuck, every car is red, right? Or you go, oh, I've looked at, you know, this because I want to be different, or I saw that and, you know, all of a sudden you wouldn't believe it. Those cars, they're everywhere. They're popping up and all that sort of stuff. It's actually a psychological phenomenon. So it's actually showing up over and over and over again to then become remembered. I'll give you a bit of a statistic on Facebook. Back in 2006 when Facebook kicked off, don't quote me on this, but I believe with Facebook's ads when they were running, you had to see something around about 3 times to actually have some sort of connection to the brand or start remembering it. Fast forward to 2019, 27 times you have to see something to just remember what it's about and what it is, or to have that connection with the brand. That's pretty freaking crazy. 27 times, that was 2019, we're in 24 now, 5 years. I can say it's probably close to double. Double the amount of times you have to actually pop up or see a brand, see a person, see a face to be like, that's right, I have seen this before. Because that is how saturated the market is. And I think now, in 2024, it has never been so important to actually have a personal brand. In 2024, consumers are 90% more likely to trust recommendations from people that they know or even strangers on Facebook or Instagram because they have that connection. They have that trust in the brand opposed to just click buy or saying, you know what, I'm going to list my property in Annalee, Balimba, whatever, quick Google search. People don't do it anymore. They go by recommendations. So when it comes to building out a personal brand, there's 3 key components to that. And the first one's visibility. You want to be seen, you've got to show up. And when you show up, the same as what Dan was saying before, is you've got to show up regardless of what you think of yourself because, truth bomb, you're not everyone's cup of tea, right? I mean, there's probably some people out there that don't like me, but for the people that do like me, they're my people. And who likes hanging out with people they don't like? Not me. So it's about finding those people and it's about breaking through and actually showing up to be able to have those people come to you. Credibility, that's enough said. You know, Dan mentioned it as well. We all know that. Credibility, it's the same thing. I mean, have we ever trusted someone that comes up to us and goes, oh, I'm a really trustworthy person? Fuck no, you're not. You're a liar. There's no way. But if someone come up to me and said, hey, you know what? Johnny's a really trustworthy person. He sold our house and he's brilliant. I'd be like, oh, Johnny is a trustworthy person, right? Credibility. Showing up, having those testimonials, cutting through and having these things that pop up where people actually don't want to be sold to anymore. They want to find that information for themselves. And authenticity. I tell you what, if you're not going to be yourself, it's going to run out pretty quick. And if you're worrying about what bloody old mate's doing, it's going to come really, really, really exhausting. So if you work on your own authenticity and you show up in those ways, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how to do content creation really freaking easy and simple. I'm going to show you today of AI automation, and I'm not going to go into all the depth of what I do with my coaching and everything, but I'm going to show you how to do it within minutes. Who wants to see that? Yeah? Awesome. Yes. That works out well then. So when it comes to building your brand, exactly what I just said, you know what? At the end of the day, it's what people say about you when you're not in the room, right? Now, I'm just going to touch on this quickly, but a lot of people, and I was even talking to someone when I grabbed a coffee over at Hellenica this morning, and this guy said to me, oh, it's all marketing, isn't it, Katie? Exactly what you're talking about today, branding and marketing. I said, well, it's funny, but do you know the difference between, feel free to take photos if you want of the slides. I saw a couple of cameras come up. Is marketing and branding really do go hand in hand, but there's a place for both of them, right? So I'm not focusing on all your sales and your marketing strategies and things like that and injected costs. I'm talking about building out an organic brand and positioning yourself in the market that 99% of other people are not doing. So, unfortunately, when it comes to real estate specific industry and across the board, here's some statistics that might be shocking. But in the first 5 years of business, startup businesses in Australia, only 90% do fail, and only 10% actually are still standing in 5 years. Pretty crazy, hey? I tried to actually do a bit of research on the Australian market with real estate, and I found some stuff and information from NAR, which is US-based, and the stats showed that 87% of real estate agents don't make it in those first 5 years. 87%. Who thinks real estate's already saturated with agents in your area? Who feels like it's really competitive? Yeah, it is. And I mean, it's not the only industry, and it's growing. And someone will give it a crack, but out of those 87%, by the time it gets that 5 years, they're either trying to, drive Ubers on the side to make ends meet, they're stressed out, they're working around the clock, and they're chasing that bottom line of need money, need sales, need sales, need sales, and they forget about that we actually live in a world right now that chasing that and selling yourself is actually going to be hamster on the wheel consistently, the same shit. What do they say? They say, you do the same thing over and over again, you expect different results. That's actually a sign of insanity. So you've got to change the way these things are, and 2024 is the time for that. So let's talk about some industry leaders. I love this. You were talking, what did Dan say before? Frank Walker, national tiles. Fucking annoying, but every time he comes on, I'm like, I finish these sentences when it's on the radio and I'm driving. And the funny thing is, it is annoying. But if someone said, I've got to get tiles for my house, Frank Walker's got some. Easy. So what do you think of when I say just do it? What brand? The burgers are better. They're not bad either. Because you're worth it. L'Oreal, that one was for the ladies. The fresh food people? Woolies. Where lowest prices are just the beginning. Bunnings. Now these industry leaders that have this one short, sharp sentence has us know exactly what industry they're in, what they're selling, what they're about, what their mission is, and we already start feeling an experience towards that business, yeah? Iconic. One thing that they all have in common is what I always talk about when building out a brand, a personal brand, it doesn't matter if we're talking company or personal, are the 3 V's. Visual, voice, and values. If we can have these absolutely streamlined, we've got a bloody good business and brand. So I'm talking things that are consistency. What colour are we looking at here? Red, black, white, red, black, white, red, black, white. If we started seeing a bit of green there and purple, I mean, far out, you'd probably think that you're at one of those pride parades. It's confusing. You've got to be consistent with showing up. And when it comes to voice, you don't have to be funny. You don't have to be serious. You don't have to be all the things, but be what you are. If your friends think that you're the funniest in the group, then why not show the world you are that too? Because you're probably going to build more people and rapport and customers drawn to you because you're that person. So that's really important when it comes to actually building out and carving out a personal brand. And at the end of the day, I mean, no one really cares about your business, do they? They care about the solutions that you have for the problems that they have. So it's about finding the solutions. Now, we talk about innovation, we talk about 2024, who's heard of viral content, want to go viral, let's do something that's viral. I'm going to show you in a second how to create content that's not viral, but could go viral, and how really good content is important, not just chasing that, the end line again. So when it comes to innovation, we talk about, what's the first thing that comes to, when we're talking about growth in 2024, the first thing that I hear, if you want to call it a bit of a buzzword, is AI, right? AI, oh my God, AI, who uses AI in their business? Yeah? Old ChatGPT? Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. So when it comes to innovation, I think that people have 2 mindsets. They're either like, oh, I'll give it a go, or I'm not opposed to it, or they're deep into it, or they've got the fear mindset. And they're like, yeah, nah, you know what, going to ruin the world. Robots running around everywhere. Yep, we'll be dead soon. No point, what's the point? And it's funny because it's really, you can tell a lot about someone's personality when they talk about, you ask them a simple question like that. I encourage you to ask people maybe in the break or later when you get home and next conversation, hey, what do you think of AI? They've got an opinion straight away. Whether or not they use it, they'll tell you what they think. And at the end of the day, it's not going anywhere. And truthfully, it's been around since the 1900s. Who remembers back in the day of the farmers? You know, when they're ploughing their fields and doing it all by hand, all of a sudden this fucking tractor comes through and says, if you buy this, you'll do it 10 times quicker. The people that adapted to that and moved forward with times took over the people that were doing it by hand. Let's look at some brands, companies that didn't choose to innovate. Who remembers Nokia? Hey? I can't. Actually, I love that game, Snakes. Played that when I was growing up in school. Nokia chose not to actually move with the times and innovate. They chose to actually focus on features of the mobile phone, and they got left behind. How about Kodak, Blockbuster? I remember Blockbuster. My first job was actually at a video store. Oh, Blockbuster. They thought, you know what, not doing streamlined services, not us. People love the experience. They come in, they get the DVDs, videos, whatever era you're in. And fast forward, there are some businesses that have taken over and absolutely saturated the market. There would be no one in this room that hasn't heard of Netflix, Sony, Canon, Apple, Android. Am I right? Who's got Netflix? Lying, everyone has it. Or knows someone that has it. I don't think I have my own account. I still use my sister's login. But at the end of the day, these are the companies that have innovated. Blockbuster tried to have that comeback, and they did the whole, I don't know if anyone ever saw them, they had those vending machines where it was like so convenient because they're trying to bring in this, you know, don't worry about the customer experience, we'll kind of just quickly jump in. It didn't work. No one's standing at a vending machine at the front of a shopping centre going, oh, I wonder what that movie's about. It's not a thing. It's obsolete. So unfortunately, I love to say if you're not first, you're last. There is some sort of opportunity in between. But this is a really prime example as to when building out and innovating your brand in business is so important. So when we look at social media, and I know there's a lot of people in the room that are like, oh, you know what, I really want to build out my brand. I'm ready. I haven't started. Also put it in the back burner because, you know, just not ready yet. Just busy being busy. Who's actually heard of someone or said, Instagram, it's just saturated, like, it's just, I don't know, like there's just, I don't know if now's the time, probably missed the mark. Put some money into Facebook ads, it's easier, just hire someone, throw in some money, hope for the best. And then you're disappointed in the results 2 months later because you haven't seen anything, but it's top tier because we're just doing organic reach at the moment. So when it comes to social media platforms, I can tell you right now, there is still a piece of the pie for every single person in this room to jump into and to take. And at the end of the day, we don't want to be everything to everyone, right? We just want to find our niche and we want to hone in on that. So here's some stats for you. Facebook, 3 billion, Instagram, 2. These are global monthly users, by the way, not just people that are actually online or have an account. So I can tell you right now, that was what, Feb 24? It's not going anywhere. So now's the time. Now's the time to actually create that content. Now's the time to build out your personal brand. Now's the time to actually carve a name for yourself. Even if you are in an industry or working for a franchise. Actually, can I get a show of hands? Who works for a franchise group? Yeah. Who's got their own company, own business? Perfect. Seller's agent? Buyer's agent? Marketing. Who's got a marketing team that already do stuff for them? Cool. Awesome. So your business is your brand you. So therefore you have all these hats to wear. How good. I love it. Marketing is telling the world you're a rock star. Content marketing is organically actually creating social proof to the world you are one. So I just said before about content creation and about, you know, not being funny if you're not funny and all these sorts of things and finding your little groove, and most people call it niche. If you're American, you call it niche. It's weird. I was watching something on YouTube and they're like, when you're finding your niche, I was like, it sounds like snitch. Sounds like Harry Potter. Weird. When it comes to content creation, I'm going to make it really simple. You've got to be one of 3 things when you are creating content and posting. Educational, humorous, or motivating. You choose. Who follows an Instagram page that is just funny? It's just funny shit. Yeah. We might have 1 million followers, might have 300,000, but you just flick it through. You just, oh, that's funny. Send it to mum, send it to dad, send it to sisters, friends. Haha, oh God, send this to my boyfriend. This was like him this morning. And you just follow them because they're actually humorous. And people create a brand off that. Then they bring in sponsorships and ambassadorships, and they actually financially grow a brand from that specific area. And if you want to call it niche or USP, unique selling point. Motivational, inspirational. We just watched a video there before with Lewis Howes. Who follows a motivational page? Tony Robbins, Lewis Howes, Stephen Bartlett, any of these people, because you just feel that you just need that Now, Lewis, if anyone in the room, let's talk to Tony Robbins, right? Tony Robbins, if you've been to any of his events, he's funny, he's, very personable on stage. He's got his social media channels as well, but he's educational, and what he focuses on is mindset. He's got business mastery classes. He's got all these other focuses that come off the back of that. But at the end of the day, he is here to tell you that you are actually capable of achieving greatness. So people that go to his events walk out of the room with this massive dopamine hit, feeling good, like they can take over the world. But he doesn't sit there cracking jokes about, things that are completely off topic. He's always that person that people have respect for, look up to, and so on and so forth. And that's really important. So when it comes to creating content, is work out what you are. And if you're one of those three, if you are working out what your personal brand is, and then when you're creating content, it's just got to be one of those three things, and you're good to go, because now you're creating consistency, right? We talked about that earlier, visibility and showing up and whatnot as well. So I'm going to jump into some content. Does everyone have an Instagram account? Does anyone not have an Instagram account? There was one at my last event. I was like, you got a phone? Cool, download it. Because this is life. It's almost like an extension of us these days, right? So creating trending content. What's the difference between trending and viral? I believe trending has purpose because you're following something that is obviously on trend. Viral content, 99.9% of the time, I know of someone or one of my friends or a business or a brand that goes viral is on the shittest video that they put out. The shittest video, they go, oh my God, it was this 3-second with my kids splashing in the pool, but I was just been trying to sell something for the last 360 days of the year, and then that one gets all the views. Why? But unfortunately, it's not about creating viral content. It's about creating content that is purposeful. It's about creating content that is actually going to add meaning to who you are, that's going to create and build that community and audience for you. Right? So when it comes to trending content, there's a couple of pages. If you follow Adam Mosseri, he's a head leader of Instagram. Feel free to write that down. He'll always tell you what's coming up. You might jump on Instagram every now and then and go, shit, it's changed again. It's always something, a button's moved, and now there's stories, and now there's broadcast channels. He's pretty good to keep you up to date with that sort of stuff. That's Adam Mosseri, Mosseri. But when it comes to trending content, at the moment, 2024, and it is always changing, is, as we know it, videos are watched more than what statics are, yeah? Who's more inclined to scroll through the reels or on TikTok? Yeah, because we want easily digestible, quick content. And if you're anything like me, I'll give you 3 seconds. If I haven't, I'm not interested, or you're not funny, or what's the punchline, I'm gone. So video is actually really, really, really obviously important when creating content, and it scares the heebie-jeebies out of a lot of people, especially real estate agents that I talk to that go, oh, videos, I'll just get someone professional to, do this, and I'll share that on my platform. But I'm like, that's not creating a brand. That's fantastic, and there's certainly a place for it when it comes to marketing. But when we're talking about branding, you want to be relatable. So short form content is really, really important. Who watches things that, and they probably do end up going viral as well, that loop around 3 to 5 seconds, right? It's short form, or it's actually like a static image and it's got captions on it. And you sit there reading this shit small stuff, but guess what you're doing is you're adding more views because you've just watched the whole freaking thing 10 times over just to work out what it said. Brilliant. More views, more people, more engagement, more reach, more community, more people in your, little hub you can potentially have as customers, clients, and make more money. That's what we all want, right? So when it comes to completion rate, exactly what I was just saying, I'm going to show you a bit of a case study with one of my companies in a second. Completion rate means that when you create a video, people are watching it to the end. So even if it's long, it has to be actually a high percentage of a completion rate. So I'm going to show you some analytics as to how that works. But if you've got a 30-second video and you jump on and it's, hi, it's Katie here and I'm just at this event and blah, blah. I'm bored, just tell me. Guess what? Personal branding, you need that, keep watching. You know, hard-hitting things that bring people in. Because begone are the days where, and this is actually a massive pet peeve, is if you jump on people's Instagram stories. And I heavily am involved in, you know, the fitness industry, beauty industry, and they get in the car and they're about to talk about what just happened in their gym session, put their seatbelt on and you're watching them and they go, on the screen, they go, hey guys, just thought I'd hope you're all happy. What day is it? Thursday? Hope you have a good Thursday. So I was, what's your point? What's your point? I'm not interested. Just, you know, I just get to the point. Get in the car. Holy shit, you wouldn't believe what just happened. I was in the bar, squat bar, we're talking about fitness, right? In the bar, this happened, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good whatever day it is. Chat to you soon. You don't have to be 100 miles an hour, but be engaging. That's probably more a female thing, I don't know. Looping replays, we chat about that, looping around and around. Storytelling, people love a good story, but you've got to make it engaging. So back to the same principle of don't start with all the riffraff. And I got deep into real estate researching when I was sort of prepping these slides, and it was interesting just to see quite a few videos of real estate agents that do start out the front of their property and they're on the driveway. And they go, oh, hey, Richard Michael's here today and I'm at 34 Bankshire Avenue and so as you can tell, I'm at this suburb and schools are close by and there's this and there's this and I'm just like, Richard, show me what the freaking kitchen looks like. Like I'm a visual learner, like just show me, put some voiceover and I'll keep listening. By the way, I don't really care about what your name is, how long you've been in the industry and what the business is, because I'm not going to retain that until I care about what you're telling me, showing me. Well, renovations are before and after, you know, that's what's going to bring you in. Yeah, so starting straight with the punchline, same back to what I was telling you earlier about mum with the newspaper, straight to the headline. And photo dumps and carousels. So they're your statics. That's when you see someone post and you scroll across and it's almost like it should be very relatable to what's in that carousel. So I think you've got about 10 images in it that you can do, you know, march, dump, whatever. But if you're actually showcasing like a property or your personal brand or your family or something, a weekend or something, a day in the life, is to actually have some organic photos. If you think that you're waiting for the right time to get that perfect content, then you're already behind. People don't want to see over-filtered images. People don't want to say, oh, wow, gee, she always looks great. You know, oh, God, he's always on when he's on. Tell people that it's bloody hard. Tell people that, you know what, I'm overwhelmed, I've got this. Educate them with how many groups you got coming through, whatever that case may be. But show them that you're real. Show them that you're human. So we chat about AI in a sec, which is mirroring humans' lives, is that's really, really important because at the end of the day, we connect with people, right? We connect with people's feelings and emotion and connection through that way. We don't connect because Barry got 24 groups through on Saturday. We connect because Barry goes, geez, you know, he's a hard worker. He's going to be the guy to sell my house because I literally saw a day in the life, how it worked. He actually did some stories about, you know, when they were behind the scenes, when the videographer was doing all that content for that property. And now I can actually visualise what the process is going to be when I go to list my home. So photo dumps, carousels, organic, and not to just overthink it. Back to when I was talking about the completion rate, I'm going to show you a quick snap of one of my companies, Sprayed. Who's heard of Sprayed? Any girls in the room? I know you have, Gemma. A few clients and guys. Funny story, actually. I always talk about having a niche market, knowing your demographics, your age brackets. This is one of actually the only company I've ever started and owned where I don't have a tight demographic because it is so expansive on who the hell would get a spray tan. I've got real estate agents, mortgage brokers. I've got everything from tradies that get their tan lines that come in and get that sorted out. It's all automated. It's basically operated by the palm of your hand. It's an app that you download and you can book a tan, a light therapy session, zero gravity massage chair, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our tagline is no more getting naked in front of anyone. And we built up this business. I started it in 2021. We've got 2 locations, but basically, in a nutshell, I've used a lot of automation and AI to be able to create this concept. And the biggest power play on this is I've never spent a cent on marketing. I think we had about over 17,000 spray tans in 18 months or something. We were looking at analytics and stuff back in the database at the end of last year. So first to market, first one in the world actually that has the beauty component of automation. So when it comes to creating content, We don't overthink it with our team. We don't actually read too much into it. We don't have to do all these aesthetic photo shoots. I think the last photo shoot I did was March last 23, what year are we in? Yeah, last year. And that was for some upcoming product stuff, is we don't focus on being perfect. We focus on actually just getting shit out and worrying, focusing on and worrying about the rest later. So I'm showing you this brand specifically because it's unrelatable to real estate and it's a small following online. I don't think it's really that inspiring when someone gets up here, and you can call me sort of a bit of an influencer, and I've worked with brands and obviously the business side, but I don't feel it's inspiring when I've got 130,000 followers and I'm like, you too can, get all these views. You're like, yeah, all right, Katie, well, you've had your Instagram for 10 years. So starting from scratch, we started from scratch in 21. I think we've only got about 6,000 followers. It's not many, but it's enough because they're our audience of people that actually want to know how it works, or their members. So here's a Instagram reel to give you a bit of an example. Sorry about the no clothes here on real estate, but whatever. Socially, it's what do you call it? Aesthetically pleasing. I've circled that one there. 5,000 views on one Instagram reel. Now that's not viral content, but it's enough to get reach. It's enough for people to see it or watch it again and again. What was important about this is that, people don't always essentially like stuff now. They're too busy on the scroll. It takes a bit for them to actually want to comment. But the fact that we had 5,100 people watch that, it's interesting when you tap into your insights and you actually can see the audience retention. If you have a look there, see at the back there, that small image on the right-hand side. Oh, I've got a little thing here. See if that works. No, it's not going to work. No. It's got 92% retention by the end of that video, and it's a 4-second video. But that's not what it's about. It's about actually showing people how it works, what to expect, and the operations of Sprayed without having to say it. We're a completely unstaffed business model, by the way. We don't have staffing 24/7. It is completely self-serve. So when people see this, they go, oh, that's what I can expect when I go there. That's what I can expect when I meet up with this real estate agent. He's funny, he's quirky, he's this, he's that. And they already feel like they know you before coming there. And it's the same with any brand, business, and company. So that was really important. So who actually, when it comes to creating content, feels a little bit uneasy when it comes to actually talking to camera? Who would have no issues? Actually, that's my more important question. I know you're okay with it. Who has no issues with picking up their phone, jumping on the gram and having a good old yarn? Yeah. I think the average woman says about 10,000 words a day. I'm probably about 21, so Dad likes to tell me it's 10 a.m. I've probably already had about 10, 15,000 words come out. But when it comes to actually creating content, the biggest thing, an issue that I find, is we go back to perfectionism. And I think you're probably going to hear a lot of that throughout all the speakers today. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you show up consistently and you stick by your guns of who you are and you have that authenticity, is forget about the people, the naysayers, the people that don't like you. At the end of the day, anyone talking about you is marketing, right? So I think that the second that you actually step out of that mindset and go, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to get on the stories. And actually, you know what, the first thing I want to say is I hate doing this. You're going to actually connect with people going, me too. That's what it's about. So if you're going to keep playing small, then you're going to stay small. You're actually going to be right back at the beginning of however long ago I started talking, of that whole mere exposure effect where you're not going to have visibility. And that's what's important. So traditional marketing definitely has a place in the market. You can definitely, and especially when you're doing campaigns for your clients and whatnot. But when it comes to branding, you don't have to start with dumping in 10, 20, 50 grand to hope that people know who you are. You've just got to start with the small stuff. Now, the hardest thing when creating content is to actually know what to say and how to create it, right? So here's my friend. AI. We talked about AI. Who wants me to show you how to create really good content easy? Yeah. Who's actually learnt about AI? I saw a few hands in the room that integrate AI. What do you use with AI? What platform?
Just ChatGPT.
ChatGPT? Yeah. Does anyone use anything else? Midjourney? Yep. Midjourney's great for imagery. Anything else? CapCut? That has AI integration, absolutely. It's an app, content creation app. We'll love CapCut. We'll talk about that in a sec. So AI, in a nutshell, is obviously artificial intelligence. And it's the science of making machines basically mimic and do human-like things. So as I mentioned earlier, it's not going anywhere. You've got to adapt to change. You've got to move with times. And there's so many incredible global businesses and small businesses as well on all scales that have already integrated this into their marketing, into their branding, into their business. And they are saving time, they are saving money, and they're doing things quickly. So when it comes to platforms you need to know, feel free to take a photo of this if you want. But when it comes to creating, I'm just going to chat about content specifically. But when it comes to creating content, there is actually over 12,000 different AI platforms. They can't give you an accurate number. There's no statistics to tell you how much AI there is on the market because it is moving so quickly. It is unbelievable. We cannot keep up. So I'm going to show you some tools and explain what they do in these modalities. And I'm just going to give you one tool today that you can take with you that you already all have on your phone that you can actually spit out content in the matter of seconds. Who's keen? Yeah? Awesome. So natural language processor, obviously ChatGPT. It's funny because I talked about the conversation earlier when you're talking to someone and you ask if they, what do they think of AI? They go, oh, that bloody ChatGPT. I've seen how it works. And they think that's it. So ChatGPT is great. It's utilised as a chatbot and you basically feed information into it and it spits out anything from strategies. It doesn't do a whole lot when it comes to, well, it actually can't do imagery and things like that, but it brings out, it can do marketing campaigns, it can do content, it can do, gosh, you can even get a legal document, paste it into ChatGPT and say, summarise this. I'm a 30-year-old girl, woman, summarise this and tell me exactly what this legal document means in, 3 paragraphs. I wouldn't use it, disclosure, I wouldn't use it to create a legal document, but I can't tell you how many times I've actually used ChatGPT, or if I want to explain something to someone, I'm like, in my head it sounds easy, but let's just simplify it. So ChatGPT is really good for that. Gemini, previously named Bard. Who in the room's heard of Gemini? 1, 2, 3. Luke, I know you have. I talk about it all the time at home. Gemini will change your life in so many ways. Previously Bard and owned by Google. Super cool. It's a multimodal AI platform and it processes various formats. So what that means is you don't just have to type into it. You can literally hold your microphone on your phone, talk to it and say, hey, I want to, create 3 content piece on, what sellers need to know before they sell their property. Can you just give me a quick spill or some 3 points? And then it will spit something out to you. Now, there's a lot when it comes to priming and getting that right. And we talk about, back to the VVV of the visuals, voice and values. But once you actually know that brand identity, you can get really specific. Good thing is with Gemini, my favourite is it's easy to use. You can do it on the run. You can literally be doing letterbox drops and whip it up. And like I just had an epiphany and just have a conversation so you can get some really good content there. It also, 11 Labs, natural sounding voices, text to video. Who's seen videos that has different crazy voices on it? Who's ever been online, this little animation thing pops up and then it starts going, hi, I'm Sally, I can help you with your flight booking with Qantas or whatever. So that's your Hey Jen as well. So funny thing is that AI is actually everywhere around us. It's in a lot of different modalities and it is growing and getting better and easier. Who's made a phone call and deals with some AI processing machine that says, press 2 for this? Fucking Telstra, pisses me off every time, but they're getting better, apparently. Midjourney, same thing, I know a lady at the back before that, is more of an art tool, but it's also incredible. So if you actually do want to create statics and images and things like that on your Instagram, but you don't want to have to go do a photo shoot and all that sort of stuff, it is a fantastic image generator. And DALL-E is also the same, quite similar, but it correlates with ChatGPT, same company, one for image, one for text. So feel free again if you want to take a photo of that. I guess at the end of the day, we're talking about content, we're talking about personal branding, and there is so much stuff online that to be able to be cut through and to be able to get that visibility is that you've got to create things that are actually synonymous with who you are. Because if you keep doing that consistency thing over and over again, right, the 1%er, better every day, we've got growth there. So creating content fast, actually, I think I'm almost running out of time. Have we got, where's Dan? I can't see you. All right. to talk about what I've just gone through with this AI integration, and I love talking about this all day. In fact, I actually run workshops over a number of days just to actually go through the details and have people in the room make content. I actually ran a workshop must be about 4 weeks ago, and I said to everyone in the room, no one's leaving until you create a piece of camera with captions, talking, and completely easy, seamless. And how many people went, yeah, no, not me. I'm not doing it. And I'm like, I will show you how. I will show you how you can create a video where you've got caption text, you look confident, you show up, and you have that to post straight away ready content in under 5 minutes. You don't even have to write the content. You don't need to caption it. But if I could show you how you could pick up a phone and actually talk to a piece to camera without the ums and the ahs and all the buts, who wants to see it? How you feeling, Dan? Can I bring you up or should I pick someone from the crowd? Yeah? All right, let's go. I need a phone. You got a phone somewhere? Where's Georgia? Do you have my phone? All right, so what I'm going to do, I've got a countdown. It says 10 seconds. Can you give me 5 more minutes?
Sure.
Okay, cool. No, with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking at my countdown. I haven't looked at it till now. I'm like, shit, I can do things quick, but... All right. Thanks, love. So, let's go back a sec for a minute. By the way, Dan and I have not planned this.
It's not planned.
Tell the crowd today. Not planned. If we look at these tools here, we're going to go through and do Gemini, which was previously Bard. And what the goal of this is to be able to create content that we can educate, thinking off the top of my head here, sellers? Sellers? Everyone wants sales, right? Okay, cool. Let's focus on sellers because we want them to come to us and then we sell the house. Cool. All right, so we're going to focus on sellers and we're going to tie that in with a tool that someone mentioned over before and we're going to create this content. I know lighting's rubbish in here, but I'm going to show you anyway. Okay, it's going to look something like this. Sorry about those screen freezes. But what I mean is that you've seen these videos before where you're reading text. Now, why I say you've got to caption content, so put your writing on the screen, is because who does a sneaky little scroll when they're on the phone? They've got their AirPods in, talking to a seller, yeah, quick Instagram scroll. Yeah, me too, all the time. Anytime someone calls, I'm like, got to get my AirPods because I might need to scroll if you're boring me. 90, I think it's 90, if not 80 to 90% of people actually consume content online on mute. So if you've got this hero epic thing to say, most people aren't even listening. So make sure you caption it. If you put out content, caption it. It's actually so easy. It's a click of a button if you're in Instagram, TikTok. It's all inbuilt in the apps. I'm going to show you how to do it on another app and how to pull it all together. But it is really, really, really simple. So that's one thing that you've just got to literally slide up on your stories and click captions. Take a photo of this. If you haven't got CapCut on your phone, this is the app I'm going to use to show you on your mobile device. Actually, I think I've even put that there for you. So feel free to download the app. Gemini is already on your phone. If you've got Google on your phone, you've got Gemini. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to open Gemini on my phone. And how I do that is I basically go straight to Google. Did I put something here? Cool. See that on the left-hand side there where you've got Google? If you switch over, there's a little icon at the top of your screen and that will take you straight to Gemini. It's free, it's on your phone, and down the bottom you can see there's a microphone, a camera, or you can just, there you go, type, talk, or share a photo. Now, just a quick side note on Gemini, for the ladies more so, but you know how you see something on Instagram, you're like, I love her dress. And then you want to comment and be like, where did you get your dress from? And then you either got to go back and check your comments to see if she wrote back or you DM her and whatever, is take a screenshot of her dress, of this photo, tap it in here, and it will literally give you every single link where you can buy that exact dress. I did this at my event, and one of the girls there go, you know what, I love your shoes. I said, take a photo, tell me where they're from. And she took a photo and she goes, oh, you got them from Cookai. I said, yeah, they're still there. They're not on sale yet, but they're still there. Cool. All right. So let's pick a topic. We're talking about sellers, right? Now, we're not selling because we've already talked about being the solution to people's problems. So what we want to do is we want to educate and build that rapport with our potential audience or even people in the further reach online. So what we're going to do is, just thinking off the cuff here. Let's go with 3 tips that a seller needs to know before selling their house. Needs to know, needs to do. Something like that. Now, we're not going to go through all the priming just because of timing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Dan just to hit this microphone, and I'm going to get you to say, I'm creating a video for Instagram. Actually, stop.
Okay.
Sorry, we're going to pretend you're a real estate agent. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. So we're just going to start with, I'm a real estate agent, and I'm creating a video for Instagram. I need your help. But before we get started, there's a couple of things I want to tell you. Is that okay? Now, you can say it in your own words, but the principle is to ask a question at the end.
Sure.
I'm a real estate agent. I want to create content. But before we get started, there's a couple of things I want to say. Is that okay?
I can do that.
Yep. So I might even just get you to hold it. Now, I'm just going to get him to say it because it's easier than sitting there and typing. But it also turns it into text for you. We did have a roaming camera that we were going to try and show the screen, but I probably could just spin it around. And I'm going to get you to say that, and we're just going to see what it spits out.
Give me one more time. I'm
So
a real estate agent.
I'm a real estate agent, and I want to create a video for Instagram. But before we get started, there's some things I want to tell you. Is that okay?
I'm a real estate agent. I'm looking to create a video for Instagram, but before we get started, there's some things that I want to know. Is that okay?
Done. So it's transcripted that, and we're just going to press play and send that straight in conversation. What does old Gemini say to us? Absolutely. Creating engagement videos is a great way to connect with potential clients. Now it just says, if you're not sure what you want to create, here's some tips. Trying to resonate. Who are you trying to reach? What kind of content resonates with them? What are your goals for this video? Tell me more. Once you have a clear idea, let's start planning your content. So the next thing you're going to say is, great. Now the reason we said that first thing is because now Gemini knows that he's a real estate agent, so we know the industry. So all Dan's going to say now is, give me 3 points that a seller needs to know before listing their property.
Great. Give me 3 points that a seller needs to know before selling their property.
Done. Now we're going to get 3 points, and Gemini spits out from that. Come on, reception. Here are 3 points on why a seller needs a fresh perspective before selling their property. 1, emotional attachment. Sellers can emotionally be attached to their property, overlooking flaws for potential buyers might notice. Habit blindness and market awareness. Now, that's really good. It's very open-ended. It's not really specific, but we just want to get that a little bit more specific. So what we're going to do is just ask Gemini, what we're going to say to Gemini is, okay, great. Let's simplify these to 3 key things they need to know before selling their house and make this brief.
Okay, great. Let's simplify these into 3 simple things before we sell our house. What was the next part?
Best thing is you can actually just stop it.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Let's simplify these into 3 things before, and then you can just tap it again and say before a seller lists their property.
A seller lists their property.
Cool. Done.
Killing it.
All right, now we want this in first person, yeah, because Dan's going to actually read this out. So Gemini's just spitting this out. Awesome. Okay, great. Sure. Here are 3 simple things sellers need to know before listing their property. 1, declutter and depersonalise. Potential buyers want to envision themselves in your house and make it clean. Enhance curb appeal. A good first impression attracts buyers. And 3, make sure you do any minor repairs, touch-ups. Address any small issues that could detract from the property's value. Cool. All right, so you can just write, okay, great. Please write this in first person and add an intro and a conclusion.
Okay, great. Please add this in first person. Please add an intro and a conclusion.
Cool. We're just going to move forward, but you can keep refining it until you actually get it right. So it's ready to go. Awesome. Internet's slow. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to hit copy on this. Now, you can see there on the right-hand side of the screen, there's an app called CapCut. Just out of curiosity, Matt, do you use CapCut? Is this what you use? Sometimes. All right, so if you want to see some really good videos with caption content, Matt, that's up later today. I had a stalk when I was getting a coffee this morning. It's got some good stuff. Okay. Cool. Now, I might cut this short just in the essence of time, but I'm just going to copy and paste that whole section. And I'm going to open up this app on your right-hand side. Can you see there where it says teleprompter on the bottom left? So we're just going to hit teleprompter. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste that whole script that Gemini just created for us in there. Ideally, you want natural lighting or whatever to make it look good. But I'm just going to actually put you super on the spot. All you have to do is read. But you can actually, there's features where you can stop and start as much as you want. One thing I recommend is that when you're talking to camera, don't do this whole tripod thing and stuff like that if you don't have to, is actually move your arm a little bit because it actually adds a little bit to the video, right? It's a bit more personable and that way people can't see your eyes going like this. Okay, so I'm actually just going to hit this in a one shot because Dan's a one-hit wonder.
Of course.
And he hasn't read what he has to say, but I'm just looking at the negative time. And it basically, in a nutshell, says something like this. We might just do the first tip, but you're just going to read a bit.
I was the school captain in Year 7, so I've had plenty of practice.
Perfect. How long ago was that?
12 years ago now.
Okay, awesome. I love it. All right, I'm going to hold it for you so it's easy.
Yeah, sure.
And you're literally just going to read this out. Use your hands, comfortable, whatever you want. You've done this a million times.
Here we go, it's live.
All right, it does a 3-second countdown.
Yep.
So just take your time. It might go a bit quick, but you just talk faster. Okay. Ready? When you're ready.
Hi everyone, it's Daniel Petch, your local real estate agent. Today I'm here to share 3 quick and easy things that you can do to get your home ready to sell even before it hits the market. First, let's talk about decluttering and depersonalising your space. Potential buyers want to imagine themselves living in the home, and it's hard to do that if it's filled with your belongings. Pack away family and photos and knickknacks and get rid of any clutter that makes the room feel small. Next, focus on enhancing your curb appeal. The first impression is crucial, so spruce up your landscaping, add a fresh coat of paint to your front door, and make sure a walkway is clear and inviting. Finally, take care of your minor repairs or touch-ups that might catch a buyer's eye. A loose doorknob or leaky faucet might seem insignificant, but they can leave a negative impression. By following these simple tips, you can showcase your home's best features and attract top dollar from potential buyers. If you're thinking about selling your property, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help you through every step of the process. My name's Daniel Petch and I'll see you there.
Dan. Fucking unbelievable. All right, now let's make a video. He did pretty good, right? So this is something on what it looks like. Okay, for 1 second, Dan. Okay, cool. So there's one button that we're going to press because people watch shit on mute, right? We're going to press the old A, and that is going to generate, thank you AI, captions. Choose your colour, choose your font, get fancy, or keep it whatever it spits out. We're going to keep whatever it spits out. And this is how it looks. I'm just going to hit save. There might be a few typos if you stumble on a word or whatever. You can do multiple takes. Dan is just an absolute legend. Made me look so good. I was stressing about that. Actually, I called Luke on the way. I'm like, fuck, I haven't got anyone to bring up on stage and blah, blah, blah. And here we are.
Anytime.
So this is how. Got it? Round of applause for Dan. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you. All right, so finishing up on that note, content is easy. You can make it fast. There's no excuse. Get shit done. Say yes. Work the rest out later. And if you're not first, you're last. So building out your database and nurturing them. Instagram's awesome. Build out followers. Everyone wants all these 10,000, 100,000 followers. At the end of the day, you don't own Instagram. And if Instagram shut down tomorrow, or someone hacked your account, like me, when I was actually launched for an event 2 days in and only 3 weeks to sell, you're fucked. So what you need to do is pull them off the platform, right? Nurture them, build them, engage with them, build out your community, and then you want their contact details, their email address, their phone number, whatever. Don't ask for too much. People don't like to give too much away because they don't usually get sure about you and everyone's all hesitant. Remember? Mere exposure method. Cool. Effect. All right, so there's a 3-step flow strategy in that. Phase 1, build trust, personal brand, tick, done. That's what we all need. That's why we're here today. We're talking about experiences, we're talking about leverage, we're talking about trends, what's coming up in the market, and we're talking about us because your business is your brand and your brand is you. Capture information, how to get that, and phase 3 usually should almost do itself, and that's sell. Whether that's bringing clients, potential people to the market, but that's actually closing the deal and then building out that bottom line of profit. So I guess one thing all agents want, right, are sellers? I mean, buyers are great, but sellers? Yeah? Who wants to get more leads? Yep. Fuck, really? Why are you here? Who wants to get more leads? Don't be in that statistic of that 10% of survival in 5 years. And I'll tell you what, that is a big pivotal point when you invest in yourself and you come to events like this, that you can learn and actually apply and execute strategies like this. You're already ahead of the game. So we all want some leads? Yep, I'm going to show you exactly how. I'm going to show you how to get people's email addresses from Instagram. I'm going to show you how you can actually pull them onto your database, put them into your CRM and nurture leads that way so that when they're ready to sell or they're looking for your help or they're wanting an appraisal, whatever it is, that you are the first point of call. So scan this code here. Oh, wait. That's my Instagram page. DM me. Message me the word leads. It's maybe not me talking. Maybe it's AI. Maybe it's something else. But I will show you. You can set up an appointment, and one thing I thought is that I don't care to charge and sell and all that sort of stuff, but if I can help even 10 of you in the room today to set up your DMs, to be able to generate leads and to get numbers, email addresses and whatnot, I'm more than happy to. If you can catch me in the break, I'm happy to show you straight away as well. But I've blocked out 2 weeks in 2 weeks' time and only for 15 minutes because life's crazy. And I can show you how to set that up. If you are on Instagram and you see people put up words of, DM me the word this for more information and stuff like that, there is so many different call to actions and ways you can build that out so you don't have to be the one on your phone 24/7 building this out. Let AI do it for you. I will show you how that works, but feel free to, if you like, then you can go ahead and do that. And I think you're wanting me to get the fuck off stage. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Thank you. I'll give you that one. Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, Katie. Can we get one more round of applause? Isn't she amazing? Well done, Katie.